Hello and welcome to RetroQuest. I'm Jay and today we're playing Super Punch-Out on the Super Nintendo, which was originally released in 1994. I spent a lot of time on this game and its predecessor on the NES and I'm looking forward to this. So let's head on over to my comfy chair and boot it up. Super Punch-Out is a boxing video game developed and published by Nintendo for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES. Released in North America on October 1st, 1994, and later in Europe on January 26, 1995, the game is part of the Punch-Out series. It's a sequel to the NES titled Punch-Out, and follows the same basic premise where players control a boxer, Little Mac, as he fights his way through various circuits of the World Video Boxing Association, the WVBA. Super Punch-Out for the SNES was developed by Nintendo's Integrated Research and Development team. The game was produced by Genyo Takeda and Makoto Wada, with voice acting by Charles Martinet, who later became famous as the voice of Mario. The development process for Super Punch-Out was interesting because it aimed to bridge the gap between the arcade experience and home consoles, which was a challenging task at the time. One of the key goals was to create a seamless transition from the arcade version to the SNES, maintaining the essence of the arcade experience while taking advantage of the 16-bit capabilities of the SNES. This involves significant enhancements in graphics and animation, making the characters more vibrant and the gameplay smoother. The team focused on timing and precision to ensure that players had to master the patterns of each opponent, which was a hallmark of the series. During development, the team faced several challenges, particularly in perfecting those gameplay mechanics and ensuring the controls were responsive and intuitive. There was also a notable focus on the anti-piracy measures within the game, which included comprehensive tests to detect unauthorized copies and hardware modifications. These anti-piracy features were more sophisticated than those seen in earlier SNES titles, reflecting Nintendo's efforts to protect its intellectual property during the rampant piracy era of the 1990s. The development team included debugging tools and hidden features that were not publicly known until much later. Super Punch-Out for the SNES doesn't have a complex overarching story like many modern games, but it does have a rich backdrop and a colourful cast of characters that contribute to its enduring charm. In Super Punch-Out, players control a boxer named Little Mac as he fights his way through the ranks of the World Video Boxing Association. The goal is to become the WVBA champion by defeating a series of increasingly difficult opponents across 4 circuits: the minor circuit, the major circuit, the world circuit, and a hidden special circuit. Each circuit presents a new set of opponents with unique fighting styles and patterns that players must learn and counter. The protagonist of the game, Little Mac, is a young, determined boxer known for his quick reflexes and powerful punches. Unlike the original NES version where he was portrayed by a dark-haired boxer, in Super Punch-Out he appears with blonde hair. The game features a variety of memorable opponents, each with distinct personalities and fighting techniques, with boxers like Gabby J, a French boxer known for his cheerfully ironic "yay" after losing; Bear Hugger, a Canadian lumberjack who uses his size and strength to overwhelm opponents. There's Dragon Chan, a martial artist from Hong Kong who incorporates kicks into his boxing style, which is technically illegal in boxing. Then there's the Masked Muscle, a masked Mexican wrestler who uses underhand tactics such as spitting in your face to blind you temporarily. Although primarily a single-player game, a hidden 2-player mode was discovered in 2022. Accessible through a specific button combination, this mode allows one player to control the opponent, adding a new dimension to the gameplay. The game itself is presented in a 2D perspective with a third-person view from behind the player's character. Little Mac is rendered as a transparent character, a unique visual choice that allows players to see their opponents clearly, enhancing the ability to react to attacks. The gameplay is heavily influenced by arcade-style mechanics, focusing on fast-paced action and precise timing rather than realistic simulation. The game utilises the standard SNES controller. The control scheme is simple but effective, allowing players to execute a variety of punches and defensive moves. The A and B buttons deliver right and left punches, while the Y button throws a powerful uppercut when the special meter is filled. The directional pad is simply used for dodging left and right and ducking. Then you've got the R buttons and left buttons which will block high and block low. One of the standout features is the special meter. As Little Mac lands successful punches without taking damage, this meter fills up, allowing him to unleash a powerful uppercut. This mechanic adds a layer of strategy as players must decide when to use their special attacks. A core element of the game is recognising and then memorising the attack patterns of each opponent. Players have to observe and then learn each opponent's tells and patterns to effectively dodge and counter-attack. The game includes a time attack mode where players can compete to defeat opponents as quickly as possible. This mode is unlocked after beating the circuits and adds significant replay value to the game. Super Punch-Out received generally positive reviews from both critics and players upon its release, and it remains a beloved title among retro gaming enthusiasts, this one included. The game was praised for its engaging gameplay, colourful graphics and memorable characters. Reviewers highlighted the game's smooth animation and the strategic depth required to master the various enemies throughout the game. It was lauded for attaining the charm and challenge of its NES predecessor while improving on the graphics and gameplay mechanics due to the enhanced capabilities of the SNES. While Super Punch-Out didn't win any major awards at the time of its release, it has been consistently praised in retrospective reviews and is often listed amongst the best NES games. Its legacy is cemented by its inclusion in various retro gaming collections and its availability on modern platforms like the Wii Virtual Console, the new 3DS and the Nintendo Switch Online service. In terms of sequels, Punch-Out series has a storied history with several sequels and spin-offs as well as some re-releases that have kept the franchise alive and popular over the years. Its predecessor, the NES's 1987 Punch-Out, was the first home console version of the series, originally featuring Mike Tyson as the final opponent before being replaced by Mr. Dream in later releases. This game introduced many iconic characters and solidified the pattern recognition gameplay. Then, this title, the Super Punch-Out we know on SNES, is the game that focused on enhancing those elements, better graphics, more fluid animation and new characters, also adding new features like time attack for additional replayability. Then in 2009 we had Punch-Out, a reboot of the series that brought the franchise into 3D with updated graphics and motion controls. It also included a multiplayer mode and was developed by Next Level Games. It stayed true to the core mechanics while introducing new features and characters. And then there was Doc Louie's Punch-Out, a WiiWare title from 2009. Smaller, and it was a downloadable game where players train with Little Mac's coach, Doc Louie. This game was a special release for Club Nintendo members. Super Punch-Out has been re-released on several platforms including the Wii, Wii U and Nintendo 3DS. These re-releases have allowed new generations of players to experience the game on modern hardware. The original Punch-Out and Super Punch-Out are also available on the Nintendo Switch through its online service, further cementing their status as timeless classics. Little Mac has gone on to appear in other games as well. He was first appeared as an assist trophy in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and then a playable character in Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and Wii U, as well as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Nintendo Switch. Little Mac also appears in Captain Rainbow for the Wii, and the series is referenced in various other Nintendo games. Additionally, the series' influence is seen in merchandise such as statues and Lego models. In the most recently released Mario Bros. Movie, a pizzeria named after the Punch-Out series featured in the film, showcasing the franchise's cultural impact and recognition.
Mario! Okay.
In summary, Super Punch-Out is more than just a game. It's a beloved piece of gaming history that showcases Nintendo's ability to blend humour, strategy and engaging gameplay into a timeless classic. Its influence can be seen in its continued presence in modern gaming, and it remains a benchmark for what a great sports game can achieve. As a beloved title, it continues to inspire and challenge players, proving that good design and compelling gameplay are truly timeless. There you go. That's my thoughts on Super Punch-Out. I thoroughly enjoyed picking this game up again, although I must admit I do that more regularly than most of my retro collection. I always loved the NES and the SNES versions. Let me know what you thought of this game back in the day in the comments below. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel to grow. And if there's a game you'd like to see me cover in future RetroQuest episodes, again, get involved in the comments and tell me which games you'd love to hear more about. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.